I made $1 million in profit within the first 3 years of my business. And before I started, I was broke and on government welfare. So if you pay attention to this video, I'm gonna give you all the knowledge you need to stop being broke. We're gonna cover the 5 lessons that I wish I knew back in the day. And if you don't know me already, my name is Hamza. I started a YouTube channel back in 2020. I made that $1 million in profit at 3 years in. I made another $1 million in profit the year afterwards. I retired my family. I don't look at the price for basically anything I buy now. I'm financially free in a few years' time, which is a pretty remarkable timeline for a businessman. And so I'm just gonna walk you through the best lessons that I could give you at your stage right now. Number 1, stop pretending that money isn't important. So back in 2019, I am in university, and you know, when you're in school, it's like money maybe isn't really that important. Like if you want to be high status and attractive in your class, what does it take? It actually isn't money. When you think about it, the guys that are in your class in school or college or whatever, it's not because of money that they are cool or attractive to the girls and confident with the guys. It's usually things like your looks, your charisma, your confidence, your athleticism, maybe even your grades if you're in the, the culture where grades are kind of promoted as a good thing. It's not often money. You can go through high school and college being broke and it doesn't really matter. So I graduated in 2019, I got a psychology degree. But before that point, in the last few weeks leading up to the point where, I could check my results, I remember thinking that I hope that I fail. I hope that I literally fail my exams and I have to resit this entire year of university, because then I could just have another year of being like a careless student. I could party more and I could, hang out with girls more and, I'd just be like this young guy who's living in the student accommodation with other people and whatever. But on that day when I checked my emails, I click on the link, I go on the website, put in my details, and the page is green and it says, congratulations, you got a 3rd honors, whatever. I instantly felt depressed seeing that, because I went from a careless student to an unemployed man. Reality hit me fucking hard, and if you haven't left the education system yet, you might not have had this moment where I realized instantly, oh shit, money is now the priority. Once you get out of school, this cute shit of just being focused on your looks and trying to be confident in front of girls, that's boy shit. That's little boy psychology. Once you get into the real world, you realize, it's basically all about money now. And so I struggled a lot because I hadn't prepared for that. I didn't really, give a shit in university. I now was hit with this reality of you need to figure out how to make money, and you didn't really set yourself up for this with a good career. 99% of people, even people with degrees, can't get good careers these days. So you need to figure out how to play this money game. Luckily, I found entrepreneurship. I found the right knowledge. I was maybe gifted for entrepreneurship. Probably not. It took me a fucking year to make any money or anything. But the lesson was for me that money is so much more important than you actually think it is. And don't overlook this. The reason why you may be broke right now is because you disrespect money. There's a wonderful girl I met recently, and she's an entrepreneur like me. She's in the same business model, and she is money hungry. She is so enthusiastic about money. And we had this conversation once where I text her saying oh, hey, just appreciate our conversation. Appreciate your enthusiasm with making money because it's kind of contagious. It's rubbing off on me. And she replies back and she said something of course, I think money is one of the most important things in the world. Money is life. People trade their time, their lives for money. When you acquire money, you acquire the ability to command a human being to basically give his fucking life energy to you. Think about that for a second. I have $1 million in the bank right now. I can get a human being, a living person, to give me their life energy up until the point that they die 60 years from now. I can get this person to voluntarily wake up when he's still sleep deprived, when his wife wants him to cuddle up more and he pushes her away, he gets ready, wears a tie that's uncomfortable, he gets onto like the public transport every fucking day, and there's a risk of him getting like harassed or robbed or pickpocketed. He gets over to this like inner city location, he has to walk through the dark, he comes in and he just presses keys in this unpurposeful little fluorescent light bullshit task, which gives him no fulfillment. And then I can make him do that 5 days a week for the rest of his fucking life with just money. I can take this man away from his family and he will live a unpurposeful, unfulfilling life just because I have money and he wants it. Now that sounds like a creepy, like scary thing, right? And I'm not saying that that's what it's like being an employer. But do you see, like, people give up their fucking lives for money. People will literally go and live unfulfilling lives for money. So if people trade their time, their energy for money, and you get good at acquiring money, that means that money is not just like this, this like shallow thing, whatever. Money is literally human life energy. And when you can acquire it in an efficient manner, you are like this fucking beacon of human life energy. It's so much more deeper and like weirdly spiritual. This is how you capture energy. Like, this is literally, if power was put into a physical form, it would be the fucking dollar, or it would probably not even the fiat. That's a side point. It'd probably be like Bitcoin or some shit, but you get my point. It would be currency. You've got to understand just how important this lesson is. Like, this is literally your way of acquiring power in this world. Don't overlook that. Because here's the thing, you can argue with me right now and say, oh, this sounds bad, I don't care, whatever. But the person who's got more money than you is gonna fuck you then. The person who's got more money than you will then be able to command you to do shit that you don't want to do. This is your way of acquiring power and freedom. First, you get freedom from money so that no one else can control you and make you do shit that you don't want to do. Then you get more money so that you can actually have people do what you want to do. Like, I know it sounds dark and it doesn't have to be, it can be a wholesome thing of you getting employees and building a beautiful company, but like, do you understand just how much power and influence there is in money, and you have the ability to command that? I want you to start having this a bit more like this masculine mindset, like, fuck, that's actually cool as fuck. With money, I could have people do my bidding. Like, I know we sound like evil right now, but you need to have a bit of this motivation. Like, that's fucking cool. That's really fucking cool. I don't want to go downstairs to get my food. I want it to be brought up to me. And for the price of like half a fucking dollar, people will do that for you. I don't want to have to go to the restaurant to get my food. I want them to bring it to me. Well, the price of like $2-3 on like Uber Eats, someone will literally do that for you. That's like a good level of power that I think a lot of people overlook, because it just can make you feel uncomfortable thinking about getting another human being to do something for you. So the lesson here is to not get into the spiritual kind of, I wouldn't even call it spiritual, but that's like what we can say just to make it easy. This idea that money isn't important. Because I've had this feeling before and after making money. Before, when I was like, 2018, 2019, when I was 21 years old and I was in the education system and whatever, and I was first, kind of thinking about entrepreneurship. When I'd see guys who were super rich, I'd always kind of discredit them and say, oh no, it's materialistic, oh, they're lying, or money's evil or whatever. And also when I've made money as well, back in 2023, I made over $1 million in profit and I had very little expenses. So for me, it was like I had unlimited money and I just kind of had this spiritual mindset, like, yeah, it doesn't matter, just focus on like purpose and fulfillment, whatever. But you need to understand this right now. You are broke because you have seasons in the year where you stop caring about money. I'm telling you, that's the reason. You have like irregularity of the desire of money. You have some times when you're really thinking about money and you're watching videos like this, and other times where you stop caring, don't you? Be honest, don't you? You have times where you're fully locked in and you're speaking about money to your friends, you're thinking about it constantly, you're reading books on it. And other times where you're like, yeah, you know, money, that guy's making money, yeah, like money, who gives a fuck, you know, just go to the gym and just be happy or whatever. Rich people have the desire for money 24/7, 365 days a year. That's the difference, is their desire for money, their value that money is important is way more regular than yours. So you need to cut out these seasons where you fall victim to that sort of stupid mindset where it's like, oh yeah, you know, money's not important. If you spend like 100 days of the year thinking like that, I'm telling you, you will make less money than the version of you which for those 100 days still believes that money is important. So one quick extra like actionable tip I want to give you is be vigilant of you falling victim to the shaming of usually the poor people who try and tell you to not level up your finances. Maybe it's some creator you watch on YouTube who's one of those like wholesome little pussies with a skinny neck and low testosterone. And he's, you know, just there being a little faggot. And he's like, oh yeah, you know, guys, don't desire anything, guys. Oh, they just care about money. I'm really cute. You know, like these fucking gay little creators, bro. Like you see them, right? A lot of them in self-improvement, a lot of them in like the wholesome kind of mindset of like, don't grind, you know, don't grind, guys. Life isn't meant to be a grind. Yes, it fucking is. Life is literally meant to be a fucking grind. Look at any fucking animal. Yeah, sure, rest and sleep. Okay, we all know that. But life is meant to be just fucking work. Of course it is. Now, there's play involved, there's rest involved, of course, and that helps. That's a balanced life, sure, nice. But you are supposed to have some work that gives you fulfillment, that contributes to society, and that gets you fucking money, because that's the way that you can show that I have contributed to the world. Don't fall victim for the sort of pussy poor person propaganda, which is, you know, like there'll be some video or some Instagram reel you'll see, and they're all like, yeah, you know, grinding's really bad for you guys. I'm just a loser now. You should be a loser like me. And all the losers in the comments are like, oh yeah, you know, this is so wholesome. I'm a loser like you guys too. We should all just be losers. You've got to understand, like, there's a race. Life, especially as a man, right? For women, maybe a little bit less, but kind of these modern days, actually, it's the same thing. We're all in a race, and the faster you run in this race, the better your life is gonna be. These pussies that you see, the poor person propaganda, they're far behind on the race. They're like, you know, the fat kids who like would just kind of walk when everyone else was running laps in the school gym or something. And they're shouting at you, you're in front of them. They're like, oh, bro, you know, slow down. You don't have to run. Do you want to listen to those fat motherfuckers? Do you want to listen to the people behind you telling you to slow down? Come on, slow down. Come be a loser like us. Now, I sound like an asshole, but the truth is, this is going to sound arrogant, but the truth is, bro, I'm so much further ahead than most people, most fucking human beings. I'm further ahead in this race. But the difference is, even though I sound like an asshole, I'm looking back and I'm telling you how to run in this race faster. I sound like an asshole, but I am on your side. Do you see how I'm telling you to run faster? I'm literally trying to give you some advice that will give you like this ability to run faster in this race, to get better rewards. Everyone might, like, you know, these pussies might hate on someone like me. Hustle culture. He's toxic. He grinds, and you know, he's just being mean and he's just speaking so negatively. I literally want you to run faster in this race. That's the difference. Be careful for those people who are slow in this race, telling you to slow down as well. The next lesson that I would give to my younger self when I was broke was to never ever listen to broke people about money. You need to understand that the level of wealth that you have right now, like imagine you open up your little banking app on your phone, what number is going to be there roughly? $100, 500,000, right? Whatever that number says is a reflection of the beliefs that you have in your mind about money. I have amazing beliefs. Actually, no, I won't even say amazing. I have pretty good beliefs about money. So if I check my banking app, it says $1 million something in there. For you, it says 1,000 times less, maybe even less than that, maybe $500, maybe $75. For your parents, maybe $300, maybe $500. So this is the thing. I'm going to sound rude here. Most likely, your parents and everyone else in your life is really fucking bad at making money. Really bad. Like if we check their bank account and they've been working for 10, 20, 30 years, we have to give them, imagine we were like teachers grading them at the skill of making money. Okay, sir, you know, your father, You've been working for 20 years, show us your bank account, okay, you've got $700. So $700 divided by 20 years, you've profited $35 a year. If we were gonna give your father a grade for the skill of making money, what would we give him? Be honest, I know this is horrible, but you need to just accept this, be honest. An F, he would fail this class, right? You need to be honest and realize, basically everyone that you know in your real life, you'd probably give them an F grade. Really think about that. The problem is they are gonna tell you to follow what they say. Just think about this. Imagine being in school and there's a kid who gets F grades. He's in the special class and then he gives you advice on studying. Should you listen to him? Come on. Doesn't matter if he's your best friend. He's a fucking retard. He's in the special class and he's like, oh, bro, this is how I study. It's like, no, I'm good. I'm gonna go listen to the fucking little Asian kid who gets A stars, right? I'm gonna listen to him. Look at his fucking glasses. Look at him. He's like, that's who I'm gonna listen to. Why would you listen to broke people when it comes about money? And this is like, it's uncomfortable because it might be your parents. It might be your teachers. It might be everyone in your community. You've got to have a bit look. Be respectful. I'm never gonna tell you to be like an asshole to your parents. I think respect is a very important thing. So when your parents come and say, "Oh, but go to university," no, don't. Business is risky. It scares me. You look to them and you're like, "Oh, okay," be respectful. But in your own mind, when you're sat by yourself and no one can be, judgmental towards you, you're sat in your room. Just think to yourself like, I love my parents, but I think if I followed their advice, I'd probably end up like them, and I really don't want that to happen. This is like, you want to become a fucking man. These are the kind of thoughts that turn you from boy to man when you sit there in silence and you're like, fuck, I don't want to be like an asshole, but if I listen to my parents, I'll probably end up like them, and I really don't fucking want that to happen. That's the point. When you'll start to realize your teachers, your parents, everyone in your community, your friends, they've got no fucking idea how money works. So then the question comes, okay, well then who should you listen to, if not these people in your life? Of course, the answer is to listen to rich people, but then the problem is, okay, well, there's no rich people in your community, your vicinity, right? So then what's the deal? Well, the beauty of the internet, the beauty of content like this is that basically it's kind of like you're speaking, you're listening, you're learning from people who actually are rich and who have made the money. Find a creator that you resonate with. Maybe it's me, maybe it's Alex Hormozi, maybe it's Andrew Tate, maybe it's Iman Gaji. Find a guy who talks about money. Consume as much as possible, not just for the sake of, learning and taking action, but just for the brainwashing of the constant repetition of the values that they try to put onto you so that you can become more like them. Whilst your parents may say something like, well, oh, what degree do you want to get, son? You're gonna go to university, right? Business is risky. No, just get a degree as a backup option, whatever. Rich people are not gonna tell you the same thing, especially one extra thing I'll just say is, maybe don't just look at rich people. Look at rich people who are in their 20s. Because that is so fucking different, bro. I don't mean to fucking spit on my fucking dick in front of you here, but holy shit, to glaze myself or whatever. But to be rich in your fucking 20s is holy shit, is that an accomplishment? You should be really thinking, again, I sound like an arrogant piece of shit here, but you should just be thinking, what a privilege it is that you're watching a video of a guy who literally genuinely was broke, who didn't have a rich family or handouts or anything, and I got rich in my 20s. You should be really, I sound like such an asshole, but you should see this as a fucking privilege and be like, holy shit, bro, there's 50-year-old guys who work some career or, some boring ass business, and they invested right, and they, bought a house for 75K, now it's 700K, and they've got a couple million, okay, sure. Nice, that's still, successful, nice. But there's a good few guys who are in their 20s, who are big in this space, that you can learn from, who literally got rich in 3 to 5 years. Holy fuck. that you don't realize how much of a gold mine you are in. Because listen, you think that everyone's watching this kind of content, right? Because this kind of content gets a lot of views, money, Andrew Tate and this kind of stuff, right? Sure. But I'm telling you right now, most people don't. I want you to visualize like your high school and everyone who was in your year group. There's usually like 100, 300 people in like a high school of like the same age, right? Imagine if like we're looking at your high school from like a bird's eye view and we've kind of chopped off the top of the school so we can see all the students. And now imagine all those students, they're at your age now and they're sat in their homes, whatever. You do realize you're probably the only one out of all of them who's watching this kind of content, right? Maybe there's like one other guy who kind of watches it casually. You probably know him, he's probably your friend. But of all the people in your year group, you're probably the one guy who watches this kind of content, like as serious as you do. Everyone else has heard of Andrew Tate and they've seen, oh yeah, money, whatever, real, whatever, but they don't watch it the same way that you are. You're still in early. People don't realize how fucking powerful it is that you can literally get brainwashed from someone who's achieved your goal for free on YouTube and Spotify. Fuck me. I'm genuinely glad that you're here listening to this instead of fucking reality TV or brain rot content. So I want to give you an extra tip here. So we're not going to listen to broke people, and it completely makes sense to you because that's just fucking retarded. We're not going to listen to broke people who literally are not even close to our goal. We might listen to them in this manipulative way of like listening to what they say to make sure we don't listen, we don't follow that advice. Sure, but we're not going to listen to them. We're going to listen to the rich people, and I want to give you just one extra tip. When you listen to the rich people who give you advice on money and finances, your brain will probably disagree with a lot of it. You'll be listening to this video, for example, or the next video that I make on this channel, or you'll be listening to some podcast about money, whatever. And the guy, like let's say in the rest of this video, I'll say things that you'll disagree with. In your brain, you'll be thinking like, nope, Hamza, no, that's wrong. That's not how it works. Pretty retarded, right? Just think about that. Again, I'm a massive asshole. Yeah, I'm arrogant. Okay, sure. But I'm rich. You're not. If I tell you something in this video and your brain disagrees with it and you're broke, should you listen to your own brain? The same brain that convinced you to watch porn 1,000 times, 1,000 times more after you realized it was bad for you. The same brain that racked up 2,500 hours on fucking League of Legends. That brain is gonna tell you in the rest of this video, oh, you know what, Hamza's probably wrong about this thing. But you're poor and I'm not. What I wanna teach you here is sometimes the voice in your mind is actually not on your side. Sometimes, especially if you're bad in a certain area, like the skill of making money, let's say like if you don't have like $50,000 in your bank account right now, which basically no one does, you're bad at this skill, right? I know I sound like an arrogant, but it is true. It sounds arrogant, but it's true. You don't have $50,000 in your bank account, so you're not very good at this skill. I have more than $50,000 in my bank account, so I'm pretty good at this skill, right? If I'm giving advice to you, your brain will actually disagree with a lot of it, and they'll be like, no, Hamza's probably wrong about that thing, but then what knowledge are you basing that on? Like imagine it in a different scenario. Let's say you're a personal trainer, right? You probably go to the gym, you've probably watched like my self-improvement channel, whatever. You're a personal trainer, you've been going to the gym for years, you're jacked, okay, sweet. A kid comes in and he wants to learn and do sessions with you. You get him onto the bench press, and what do you tell him? What's one of the first technique things you tell him? Retract your scapula. You don't want to press like this, you want to retract your scapula so your chest is forward and you're pressing like this. It's just safer for your shoulder. Imagine if that kid looks at you, he thinks about it and he goes, no, I don't think so. I think you're wrong. Nope, I'm not gonna do that because I actually wanna do it this way. You would be thinking to yourself like, what a fucking asshole. First of all, like you came to me to learn, like just fucking remember that. And second, you're a skinny, fat fucking kid. You'd be looking at this fucking kid who's got no muscle thinking, who are you to be thinking of whether this technique works or not? You've got no experience in this skill right now. Just turn your fucking brain off and do what I say because this is gonna be better for you. Whatever your brain says, like you'll be thinking this about this kid, like whatever your brain says, It doesn't fucking matter because you've got no knowledge in this skill. I'm the personal trainer, right? You'll be thinking like, why wouldn't this kid just fucking do as I say? I have a friend of mine, James. He's my kickboxing coach. And we always laugh because he gets like new clients and he'll be like, oh, he's another one of them. Where he'll get a new client, like a new a trainer, like a new trainee who comes in who's a complete beginner, and they'll disagree with what he says. He's a pro fighter with like 12 wins, 0 losses. And he's sick at kickboxing. He's a great coach as well. And we'll literally laugh because a kid will come in with no experience and literally disagree with what he says. When he says something like, which is conventional advice, like, oh yeah, step in with this jab, or, do this, make sure the jab comes like this. And they'll be like, oh no, I don't want to do it that way. If you're already, let's say, a master and you've got a different technique because you're good at the thing, okay, sure. But when you're a complete beginner, you want to know how you make faster progress, just turn your fucking brain off and listen to the person who's better than you. That's it. I'm going to give you such a weird advice that you're never going to hear from anyone else because they're too scared to say this. If you're not good at something, do not be a critical thinker. Critical thinking is like this thing where everyone they start jacking their dicks off like, oh, you've got to be a critical thinker, bro. Like, look at how skinny my fucking neck is. Oh, philosophy, shut the fuck up, bro. Every fucking nerd on the internet talks about critical thinking as if it's this thing, question everything. That's like the phrase, question everything. Motherfucker, how are you gonna question something when you're a beginner and you know fucking nothing? Question, when you make 10K a month, question what I say to get you to 10K a month. Because it's like, oh no, but I've already done that. When you can bench press 100 kg and you hear me make a guide on how to bench press 100 kg, question it. Because you're like, actually, this is the way I did it. Fair enough. But if you're a complete fucking beginner right now, don't question something that you've got no fucking idea on. Ask questions, that's a different thing. Sure, ask questions, be a student, that's different. But don't challenge your fucking mentor and your coach when you have no idea what you're doing. Now, for example, if I come into the gym and I've been training kickboxing seriously for like 6 months, and my coach will tell me like, oh no, make sure you definitely do this technique. I can now say like, actually, you know what? I like it this way because I've got a bit of a foundation, right? I've figured some things out. Now I've got a great coach, so he understands when I tell him like, oh no, I don't really like that kick. I'm going to throw more of these, whatever. Now, sure, because I've got some experience. It's like the equivalent of being on like 5K or 10K a month, or I've already got like 100 customers or something. It's you've got some experience. Now you can be a critical thinker. Now you can find out your own way, but before you get to the point where in business, for example, you've made like $10,000, $100,000, just turn your brain off and just do as I say. I know that sounds so scary on the internet and people are gonna say, oh, that's manipulative or whatever. I'm telling you, the people who get faster results are the ones who are just like sponges. They just listen to what they've heard from like some rich people and they just try it without their own brain, because your brain, remember, it can't be trusted. Your own brain cannot be trusted. It made you watch porn fucking 5,000 times. That was your own voice in your own mind telling you like, oh yeah, let's go jack off. And as you're fucking jacking off, you're thinking like, oh, we'll do two faps this time. Like your fucking brain did that to you. Your brain is the reason why when you check your bank account, what's the number in there? So I know it's such a weird point for me to make, but the guys who go from broke to rich are the ones who are just sponges, and they listen to rich people and they just try what they say, even though their own brain will somewhat disagree with that advice. Now, the third lesson that I would give to my younger self who was broke is slow lane versus fast lane. These are basically two paths that you can take to wealth. The slow lane is the path that basically everyone you know in your real life is taking, and it's the reason why they will never get rich. The fast lane is what 100% of the guys that you see on like the YouTube channels, whatever, the guys you hear who say like, oh, I made $35,000 last week or whatever, crazy money in your 20s. Every single one of us has taken the fast lane. So you should already be thinking, okay, whatever the slow lane is, I'm definitely not gonna fucking do that. Whatever the fast lane is, I need to do that. The slow lane, what do you think it is? What path, what vehicle is the slow lane? It's gonna be careers, jobs. It's just gonna be, okay, be a good boy, get the best job you can outside of high school or college, and get the degree if you can, get into debt, and then just save your money, don't buy coffee, invest it into the S&P 500 and hope for the best. Suck your boss's dick as well, if possible. Put on the white voice, like the good boy voice when you go into the office. And instead of retiring at 65, you might be able to retire at 57. There we go. That's the slow lane. The slow lane is basically be a fucking pussy, be a good boy, wear the tie, save money, work the career, get the job, get the degree, and then save money, and then you might retire. You might have like 500K in the bank account at like 57 years old. Pretty pathetic way to live your life. The disclaimer I always give, by the way, this is probably not for you, but this is just for the 1% of people. It's like, if there is a dream job that you have, for example, you have always wanted to be like a surgeon or an optician or whatever, like you've always wanted this dream job, then I would fully support you to go to university, get a degree, and go for the career. There's nothing wrong with a dream career. There's nothing wrong with going to university to get the degree that you need. For example, you want to be a therapist. You've always wanted to be one. Okay, sweet. Go ahead and do that. What is objectively wrong, like this is not just my opinion, this is objectively a fact of the world, is a retard like younger me, probably like you, being pressured to go to university, not for a dream career, but just for a fucking degree, like a random fucking degree, whatever one you want to go get with your shitty grades from high school. You go get a shitty degree, gender studies, psychology, fucking English and history or whatever. You get some stupid fucking degree and you're mostly there for the university experience, and you go work some shit job after that. That's what is objectively wrong. If you have a dream career which requires a degree, go ahead and get that. Sweet. I actually would genuinely support you, but chances are you're watching this and there isn't a real dream career for you, and you just want to make a fuck ton of money with something that still feels purposeful and fulfilling and kind of enjoyable to do. The slow lane is not going to get you there. Basically, this is what anyone in your real life is trying to push you towards. University, degree, stable job, done. The fast lane. There are only basically three vehicles of the fast lane, and you probably know one of them right now. One of them is business, being an entrepreneur. The other is being an artist. And the final one is being an athlete. There are three routes of the fast lane. These are things that you can become a millionaire in your 20s. Business, art, and by art I mean like, singing, or you become this world famous dancer or something, or you become a celebrity, movie celebrity or something, and then athlete. You probably think, wait, that's so unrealistic, but I'm just giving you the vehicles that are in there. Of course, like not everyone's gonna be a fucking Hollywood movie star, of course, but I'm just telling you that is one of the ways, right? So that's like that. You can be a singer, whatever. The ones you can kind of control, because some of them, maybe there's way more like sort of talent and networking, and if you're not okay with getting fucked up the ass by like those Hollywood pedophiles, then probably you're not gonna go down that route of singer or movie star or whatever. The two biggest ones that we can go with are basically athletes. Okay, you're gonna become fucking amazing at MMA and get into the UFC or whatever, and business. The thing with athlete, by the way, you probably already know if the athlete thing is gonna be yours because you're training, not just like, you're going to the gym 5 days a week, like, just some fucking weightlifter, but like you're already a pro, for example, you've already done competitions. Again, I know there's guys watching this who take the gym pretty seriously. That's not you. I'm just being honest. I'm being real with you here. When we're talking about pro athlete, it's not the guy who goes to the gym and, he gets protein shakes or whatever and, oh yeah, I want to get jacked. It's not that. It's like we're talking like actual pro level shit, which basically I wouldn't assume there's almost anyone watching this. And if there is, by the way, what pro athletes do you think make the most money? Think of them in your mind right now. Cristiano Ronaldo, Conor McGregor. What athletes make the most money? Are they the best in the world at the skill? They are businessmen. Business is the path of the fast lane that you have the most control over. You would already know if the athlete or the artist kind of path of the fast lane was yours. If not, business is the thing that even if you've got no talent, you can just still fucking start and become rich within a few years. So the fast lane is mostly business. This is an important clarification we needed to make. Business can make you rich in the next few years. Careers can't make you rich for at least 10 to 20 years from now, and only then if you got a career which was like 100K a year, some software dev or some surgeon or something, which most people are not going to get. So if you want to get rich in your 20s and you want to stop being fucking broke and you don't just want to be comfortable, because my channel isn't for metaphorical, like small-dicked guys who just think, oh yeah, you know, like $2,000 a month, that's as much as I ever want. This is for like big fucking dick energy, right? Girthy fucking dick energy. We're talking like, oh yeah, fuck it, like why can't I get to $100,000 in a month? Why can't I make $1 million a year? I'm an ambitious young man. I want to build a fucking kingdom for my family. I want to be able to have like 10 children. Why can't I make $1 million a year? Why can't I make $5 million a year? I can. All these fucking retards are doing it, bro. I will say this all the time. I live in Bali. You do realize how many fucking retards there are here who are making 10, 25K a month from business? Like, they're stupider than you and they're making more money than you. It's like, you know, when you see a girl in the gym and she's so pretty and you don't speak to her, and some fucking idiot speaks to her and pounds the fuck out of her that night, and you were a better man than him. You understand that concept, right? Like, what you want, there's people who are worse than you getting it. You're like, business and making money online and making a lot of money is this big scary thing, and you know, oh yeah, it's probably fake, whatever. There's idiots here who make 10K, 25K a month. They're literally stupider and less hardworking than you. They're just like doing the work that's required, which I'll walk you through as well. It should piss you off a little bit. It should make you feel a bit fucking aggressive, thinking, oh yeah, like there are probably retards out there who make like 10K a month and I don't, just because they turned their brains off and just did, like, you know, just tried the business model for long enough. And I haven't. And they're stupider and less hardworking than I am. You should get a little bit pissed off and think, yeah, fuck it. Like, why would I be dedicating my life to the slow lane? Like, think about this for a second. Just think about this. Your life so far has been dedicated to the slow lane. Like, from the moment you got in, school was not to prepare you to be an adult. School was not to prepare you to be an adult. Don't you fucking ever believe that. School was to prepare you for the slow lane. From the age of like 5 years old, that's what they groomed you towards. So you have been in the education system for what, like 12 years, fucking 15 years. How much money do you have in your bank account? How much money do you have in your bank account? Say the fucking number right now to yourself out loud. In fact, go and grab a calculator. Go and count up how many years you spent in the education system on the slow lane. How many years you've spent working, like, you know, that's fucking what, 12 years, 15 years. Divide that by the number you have in your bank account. You've made like fucking 20 or what, $45 a year. Less than a penny a fucking day. What the fuck? That, like, your entire life has been on the slow lane. That's what you've been groomed towards. That's what your parents have nurtured you towards. You know what the beautiful thing about the fast lane is? From the moment you've discovered it, which is now, within like 5 years, you'll have $1 million in your bank account. Just, do you understand that? The fucking speed and the power of the path that we're putting you on. It's very important you grasp this lesson that I wish I could go back and tell my younger self. All of the thoughts in your mind, all of the effort that's went into your life so far in terms of money has all been towards the slow lane, and it's given you such lackluster results that you have to be a maniac to fight for this path and to keep going. You have to be a maniac to listen to your parents who are telling you, no, stay on this path. I know it's given you shit results so far. I know it's going to keep giving you shit results for the rest of your life like it's given me. But just stay on this path because we're fucking NPCs and we can't imagine anything different. Like, if you're not a fucking maniac, you've got to be asking yourself, like, yeah, like, there's got to be something else. My parents have spent 20 years on this path of like, yep, go to school, get a job, try and save money, try and, you know, keep the money above your expenses, your ever increasing expenses. That's the reality for the people who stick here. In short, you've got to make a fucking business. Get over yourself. There's going to be like 5% of people who are pissed off saying, oh, but I'm just suggest business, but I don't want to make a business. Fuck you. Fuck you, right? Nobody gives a fuck about your feelings. You want to make money, that's the way you fucking make it, right? Like I said, you want this dream career, go ahead. But shut the fuck up. If you want to get rich as fuck in your 20s, it's going to be through a business. There's less than 1% of people who are watching this who, for them, it might be being a singer or an athlete, whatever. But for everyone else, if you're going to get rich in all of the alternative universes where you get like one of them, you get rich in your 20s, from business. Maybe there's another one from like fucking gambling, but we're not gonna talk about that shit because it's haram. I cover the step-by-step way of making the money in a business in my program, which is linked below, which you can go click on. The next lesson that I wanna give to you if you're broke is to work like rich people. Poor people have what kind of attitude towards work? Think about it. What kind of attitude towards work do you think poor, broke people have? Positive or negative? Negative. What kind of attitudes do you think rich people have towards work? Oh, I wonder. Positive, motherfucker. Poor people will do whatever it takes to escape and avoid work. Rich people like to work. So get fucking over yourself and think to yourself, you know what? Rich people like working. That's what we do. It's fucking Friday at 8 a.m. My cameraman came here at 7 a.m. I don't have to work for like 10 fucking years. Do you understand what I'm saying? I've got $1 million fucking dollars in my bank account. My expenses, like without work stuff, is like fucking $4,000 a month. $4,000, 40K, 50K a year. I don't have to work for 20 fucking years. Do you understand? Let me just say this again. I don't have to work for 20 years. It was 7 a.m. on a Friday and I'm recording these videos till my throat fucking dries up. I like to work. That's why I make more money than you, because I like to work more than you. It's that simple. Poor people, broke people, I'm telling you right now, they don't like work. They do whatever it takes to try and minimize work, to lower the amount of work, to be worse at their jobs. Poor people are the type of people that say they're employed in some random company where they won't try and put their best effort in. They will like go on their phone in the middle of their work task. They won't try and be as productive and optimize everything. Rich people like working, first of all. They get a positive feeling towards it, which I'll tell you how to actually generate. But also, they also take satisfaction in doing the work well to a good standard. Poor people don't. Poor people escape the effort. Right now, you're probably thinking of your family, your parents, people you know, right? You know those people. You know the people. You know for a fact they're not maximizing their performance. They're not trying to hit a high score of some of their kind of performance metrics or whatever. Poor people complain about their finances, the money, whatever, and they still avoid work. Maniacs. Imbeciles. They complain about their lack of results, but they don't change their attitude towards the work that would get them different results. Do you see the fucking idiocy here? So, this lesson is simple. You need to destroy this attitude of peasantry. Of work is bad and I can't wait till fucking Friday. Fuck you. What did you do over the weekend? I fucking worked because I'm not a broke motherfucker. What the hell? People ask me that shit all the time. How was your weekend? My weekend's the same as the fucking weekday because I'm not poor. What the fuck? People rarely stop working on Saturdays and Sundays. You're probably poor people are watching this. But you gotta take some time off. Fuck you gotta take time off. Fuck you, bro. Poor people work less hard than rich people, and then they still talk like they want more fucking time off and unwinding time. Are you taking the piss? Are you taking the fucking piss? Poor people don't work as hard as they think they do. I'm telling you right now, people like to believe the rich people don't, they can't work that hard. Yes, they fucking do. Rich people produce 1,000 times more value than you do. That's why they make 1,000 times more money than you. It's that simple. You need to switch on some good fucking beliefs about work, about the value that you give to the world, to your employer if you're in a job right now, or to the space or the industry if you're in business. Just think about that concept. You know how many poor people like insist on needing like the 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. like unwinding time, or they need their weekends. Poor people, I'm telling you, work less hard than rich people, and they demand more free time. Rich people work harder and will be more likely to work overtime and more likely to work on weekends, and they want less free time because they find enjoyment in the work. This is not, don't you bullshit yourself. This is not about the work that you have. I'm telling you right now, this is not about the work, like the specific business model or the career. I am telling you, don't you fucking lie to yourself. You think right now, okay, yeah, I get this, Hamza, but like you enjoy your work because you do the YouTube or whatever, but I've got like some shitty job right now, or like I couldn't enjoy it. Yes, you fucking could. Don't you fucking bullshit yourself. For rich people, it isn't specifically like the business model they're in or the career that they've got. It isn't. It's just that they have a positive attitude towards work in general. Take my shit away, take my status away, put me into like some construction job, and I guarantee my satisfaction, like if we all had to do like questionnaires or something, my satisfaction of my work would be way higher than the other guy next to me. Because it's just like an attitude. It's literally just like fucking have a positive attitude to your work. Like, why wouldn't you? The thing is, look, you've got to work the same amount of hours anyway. Why wouldn't you just fucking psychologically turn on that positive attitude of like, yeah, like, work is good. Like, I'm glad, I'm grateful to be here. I remember, my first job was in like this warehouse for the Royal Mail, like for the post office, but like in a big sort of sorting warehouse for everyone's post. And I was like 19 years old. I was just about getting into university. And I'd work like some 4-hour shifts here. And it was like back-breaking work. You're carrying parcels and shit and whatever. And I would usually be working with 25, 30, 35-year-old guys. And the difference is all those people are still poor and I'm not. The reason why is because one of the reasons is I had a positive attitude towards the work. We had 2 people doing the same job. And I had this positive kind of smiley attitude whilst I was in there, whilst the fat guys next to me didn't. They were depressed as fuck. And the thing is, look, I didn't particularly I was still kind of depressed as well. I didn't particularly really like my life, doing that shift. But I still had this kind of extra positive attitude, this game of like, okay, how, like, if you've never, this is a side point, but like your post gets treated like fucking trash. But like what you do is you grab like the parcels and you have to throw them into the right bag. And I would like throw it like a fucking basketball player, or I'd count how far I could throw it with a letter. I'd do like this sort of spinning technique kind of thing. Like, you get my point? I was making games of it. Do you see, like, this is what rich people do. They'll make games of their work. They'll set themselves challenges and competition. They take satisfaction in the work. So you need to understand this lesson right now, because I want you to be a beacon of light for this in the poverty that surrounds you of these poor, broke people who will not understand this. You need to start working like the rich, and the rich work with a positive attitude. Not like, there's some psychopathic, like just smiling 24/7. Of course not. This shit's fucking hard. Every few minutes you can hear my voice goes, right? My throat fucking hurts. This shit's still tough. I'm not like smiling like a fucking idiot, faking like happiness to you. I don't do that shit. I don't fake emotions to you on YouTube like every fucking other person on here, like trying to pretend to be fucking cute or some shit. But I still have this, you can tell, like, I want to be here. You can sense that right now, right? You don't sense that I don't want to be here right now. I want to be here. That's the difference. Since I'm here anyway, I may as well perform well. It's time to become a man. You need to push the silly video games to the side, especially right now, right? Look, Elon Musk plays video games. Motherfucker, he's like a billionaire. Shut the fuck up. You're poor. This rich person watches movies because they're already rich, motherfucker. Right now, I'm telling you, to go from poor, like broke, to rich, you need to live like a fucking psycho. You need to just be on the clock 24/7, working as much as possible. And when you completely cannot do more work, you think about work. That's what your life needs to be. You need to basically make work the only thing that is fun in your life right now. That's what the big lesson I need you to take away. This is like an action step for you. Dopamine detox. Do nothing that is enjoyable. Movies, TV shows, Netflix, even maybe fucking music, tasty, palatable food, social media, video games. Remove all this shit from your life so that work is the most fun thing. Do that for literally just a couple of weeks and it's like your brain changes forever. For the rest of your life, you will have a positive attitude towards work. If you've got a very small dick, you'll hate me for that advice and you'll say, actually, I can have 1 hour at the end of the day to unwind. Shut the fuck up, you're fucking poor. You're broke. You don't need to fucking unwind. What are you fucking unwinding from the grind so you can go back to, oh, let me just sit being broke again, bro. I really needed this. Yeah, here I am in my shithole fucking home that's got mold. Yeah, unwinding so good. Yeah, let me like displace myself in some movies. Oh yeah, I wish I was that guy, you know, this action man in this movie. Let me play some video games. Oh yeah, like me and my teammates, I've got some status inside of the virtual world because in the real world I'm a fucking coward. Yeah, 10th prestige guys. Yeah, fuck you. Fucking stop being a silly little fucking boy. Become a fucking man, bro. I'll give you a little disclaimer. When you're making like 5,000, 10,000 a month from a good business, which is kind of, you know, you're working hard and everything, it's purposeful and moral and it's a contribution to society, and now you want to take some days off, be my guest. Go ahead. When I went from zero, or I was never in debt, but I was on government welfare. So I was getting £300 a month from the government. So like basically zero to my first $10,000, $15,000 month. I just worked. I went to the, I trained as well. Like I worked out, I would do like workouts in the park and stuff as well. That was it. I literally just worked on my business. I exercised. And I read books, which helped me with business. Those were the three things that I did. I did other, like, you know, healthy self-improvement things. I took cold showers, I would meditate, whatever. But I didn't do unwinding shit. I went from zero to $15,000 in a month, like $15,000 a month, in about 12 months. I think about 14 months, sorry. Just over a year. And it wasn't a $15,000 a month and then back down. It was like I maintained that level as well. So I had a fairly fast fucking, you know, launch of my business, 1 year to go from 0 to 15K. And I just fucking was productive during this time. It was like a monk mode dopamine detox season. And here's the truth, and if you've watched me for a while, you know this. Once I hit $15,000 a month, I slowed down a little bit. I didn't push as hard because I was meditating for an hour a day. It was terribly boring. The only fun thing I was doing was exercising. I was barely having sex, and I was like this, you know, fucking horny young man. I wasn't dating during much of that season. I was just not unwinding or doing any of that. I would wake up and be productive till bedtime. I see all these fucking skinny, like, low testosterone pussies on the internet who say like, oh, like, there's no one who does that. Bro, you know, all these little fucking pussies. Oh, you guys, you know, these creators, they say to their audience like, oh, no one actually lives like this. I do. Yes, I fucking do. Don't you fucking believe these little fucking liberal little dweebs who say shit like that. Like, oh, no one works that hard, guys. Yes, they fucking do. You haven't seen this just yet because you're surrounded by poor people. I'm telling you, I'm surrounded by rich people, and I'm telling you, yes, they fucking work basically all of their free fucking time. My cameraman is like nodding his head right now. It's like, you don't see this because you're fucking poor and you're surrounded by poor people and you watch poor fucking liberal little freaks, like these fucking little poor fucking just pussies on the internet who say this shit like, oh guys, you know, like, no one works that hard. Yes, they fucking do. Yes, they do. It's no one in like their circle works that hard. That's why they're all fucking broke. Why the fuck are you listening to poor people? I'm telling you, the rich people work around the clock. You know, sometimes you can't sleep and you randomly wake up at 2 a.m. What do you do? Be honest, what do you do, and what do you think everyone else in your community does? Imagine your father, when he wakes up at 2 a.m., he can't sleep, whatever. Imagine your sister, imagine all your friends. What do? Bro, they're on their phone, they're just fucking around, you know, they're just tossing and turning, whatever. Guess what I do, and guess what rich people do? You fucking know, and I guarantee you probably don't even believe me. I'm telling you, this is the fucking truth. If I can't sleep randomly and it's like 2 a.m., you know, you just woke up,
I come over here, I sit down, and I continue fucking working because I've made it enjoyable for me, because it's an attitude of excellence, of like professionalism. Poor people are amateurs at their work. That's why they stay broke. You need to understand this. You need to accept this message. If you want to get rich, if you want to stop being broke, you've got to have this professional level. What does a fighter do? Imagine a pro fighter. Imagine he can't sleep the night before a fight. What is he gonna do? You can probably visualize it. It's like a fucking movie. He would get up from his bed and start fucking shadowboxing, thinking about his fucking enemy, like his opponent that he's about to step into the ring with. There's like this famous video from Hazmat or some fucking I think it's Dagestani or whatever. Like it's one of those like, you know, Muslim fighters, and he's got a fight coming up. He can't sleep. He's outside in this home, and his like coach is recording. And he says like this motivational thing where he's like skipping in the dark. He's worked out 4 times that day, and he's doing another workout. And he's like, my right hand coach, it broke the mountains. You know, he's like gassing himself up. Do you think he woke up and he's just there scrolling on fucking Instagram reels like a fucking peasant amateur, like the people you know in your life, like all these fucking pussy influencers online? Oh, no one works that hard, guys. Just relax and unwind. Fuck you. I'm telling you, you need to understand, I'm opening the doorway to the wealth here, and I'm showing you these people here, bro. I'm telling you, they fucking work like professionals. If there is free time, we are working. If I'm feeling sickly, guess what, motherfucker? I'm still working. Now, I might change the task. A few days ago, I wasn't feeling so great, and my cameraman was supposed to come over, so I texted him and said, oh, we won't record today. I'm not gonna record with like, you know, a sniffling nose and shit. I scripted videos instead, because I can do that even when my nose doesn't, you know, I'm like nasally, it doesn't sound good for the camera. I can script videos instead. Now, that isn't to say that I don't take time off. I'll go on a date. I'll go on FaceTime with my girl and, you know, laugh and giggle with her and shit. I'll go to the gym, of course, and I'll exercise and stuff, but I'll do things which aren't like productive. I'll go watch some like fucking YouTube video or something which is just funny, whatever. But the difference is I've already got $1 million in my bank. When I was broke and I was on your level, and let's say I didn't have like, let's say $50,000, right? I didn't have $50,000. I just worked. And when my brain felt it couldn't work anymore, I would read books so that I could be better at working. That was the difference. The only thing I did which was non-work related was just fitness stuff. And even that was work related because I'd record the content and whatever. But like I will never be angry at you for like exercising. By all means, bro, go and do a fucking 2-hour workout, go and meditate, whatever. Like it's not really work, but those things are fucking awesome. Do you see how like I'm not being a fucking psycho telling you, yeah, don't sleep or whatever? Like I'm not saying that. I sleep 10 hours, right? I sleep more than fucking you. So don't no fucking poor person try and react to this and be like, oh dude, rest is important. I guarantee my fucking sleep scores are higher than any poor motherfucker who's like, oh, this guy's hustle culture. I guarantee I sleep better than all the fucking poor people who are watching this, okay? So like, did you see the dichotomy of like, I've optimized things like sleep because that is just important for life and for work, and I still exercise 1-2 hours a day because that's just fucking awesome anyway. It's not really about work, but it's just fucking so good for you that it's worth including into your schedule. But when you're broke, don't do much else than just working and learning to be better at working. That's it, bro. No hanging out with your poor, stupid friends who are trying to brainwash you into being more stupid like them. Don't do that, bro. Especially if they're like stupid people, especially if they're like bullies and stuff. Most guys who are watching this have gotten 0 good friends right now. You've got a couple of losers who are kind of nice, kind of not, and you've got 1 or 2 bullies in your friendship group, and you hang out with them because you're a fucking, like a lunatic. You hang out with people who aren't even nice to you. Rich people still have time for socializing, some nice dinners, just hanging out with the boys, some calls, whatever. But the difference is, we just like working, bro. I genuinely give you a promise. It's not a lie. What you watch these like CEO morning routines, you know, the whole world laughs at that sort of like the rich person who makes content about his day and he wakes up at 5 and he's productive and he meditates and he cold plunges. The whole world cringes at that thinking, who's this guy? Yeah, he's lying. I'm telling you from being on this life, that's not a lie. It's really not. Like you wake up, and apart from, you know, like toilet breaks and eating and stuff, it's like I work for most of the day. Still now. Now, I might go take a good few hours off to go to the gym and to do like a half an hour in the sauna and stuff, and I'll speak to people there, and I might read a book in the sunlight or something, and I might go and like call my girl for an hour or something, or I might go and like have some friends round, or we go to get steak or whatever. Like, of course, there's still a life to be lived. But when there's just free time through the day, I'm not sat around, or at least I try not to sit around and just waste time doing fucking nothing. You've got to work like the rich people, not like the poor people. So the two ways to really operationalize this. Number one, remove anything that's fun in your life other than work up until you've got $50,000 in your bank account or your business makes like 5 or 10K a month. Number two, choose the fulfilling, purposeful work that actually is pretty fun. So that comes down to what vehicle you choose, like for example, which business model you choose to get into, and then also which niche you get into, basically which topic you get into. So for example, my business model is like YouTube, influencer, content creator, but the niche is like what topic you're making. So my topic on this channel is like business, which I really find enjoyable and it feels very purposeful for me because everyone's fucking broke and I don't want you to be one of them. And then on my main channel, it's self-improvement, which is even more purposeful because everyone's fucking depressed and like fucking gooning and jacking off, and I don't want you to be one of them. Just see how like, even if this was making no money, like I've got unlimited money, that's what it feels like to me. I still work hard because it's like, this is literally like my contribution to the world. Do you see how like, I'm not laying bricks, I'm building a cathedral. You don't need this stuff. There's many people out there who say you don't need to have like a work that, you know, is purposeful or fulfilling or something you're passionate in. But if you can find the overlap, that's fucking awesome. I make a fuck ton of money in something that I'm good at, but it's also something that I just feel this spiritual alignment of like, oh yeah, like this is important work. Like I'm actually like, I'm like a servant to the world. I'm contributing to the world with this skill that I'm building up. So for you, if I've already convinced you to get into business, what you want to be thinking is, okay, what business model should I be getting into? And I really recommend don't do anything degenerate or immoral or just unpurposeful, like drop shipping, NFTs, crypto trading, all of that shit, bro. It's like you can make money doing it, but that's not the stuff you're gonna do. When you're already rich and financially free, you'll stop doing that stuff because it's like you're just doing it for money and then you stop it. Like that's for people who don't enjoy working, and it's particularly for like soulless degenerates. But the business models that are actually purposeful are ones where you genuinely feel like you're helping people. It's like a service where it's like an act of fucking service, really. It's like you're giving something to the world. For me, it's this education. It's the knowledge that I've gained over years distilled into like an hour so that you can get it all in such a like efficient way. The next lesson that I want to give to you if you want to stop being broke is to value your time at $50 an hour. You need to understand that the one thing that separates you right now from the version of you that's making $5,000 or $10,000 a month is, I'm genuinely being serious. You need to understand how important this lesson is. It's simply just how much you value your hour. Poor people don't value their time. They value what? Money. How interesting is that? Wait, you'd be thinking that's actually a good thing, right? You're valuing money. No. There's only one thing. Actually, there's a lot of things, but it sounds cool if I just say there's only one thing. There's only one thing that rich people value over money, and it's time. Of course, you should value your family and stuff as well, but like, you know, just the quote sounds cooler like that. Rich people value time over money. Why? Why do you think that is? One, time is like, okay, it's, you know, it's life and you don't want to grow old, whatever, okay, sure. But two, time is actually how you make money. Since you're broken and kind of ignorant in this space, you probably have believed the lie of like, don't trade your time for money. That's just retarded. We're all trading time for money. The time is passing anyway. So destroy that belief from your mind. You're poor, so it hasn't helped you anyway. So just fucking destroy that belief. Any intelligent rich person will never tell you something like, don't trade your time for money. We all, like, time is passing anyway. We're making money anyway. We're naturally just like, it's just a logical argument. We are logically trading time for money anyway. So the idea becomes, don't trade your time for money at a rate that is a ripoff to you and the level that you will be at in the future. Rewind 5 seconds and listen to that again. Because that one lesson, if you take that to heart, you will be rich within 1 or 2 years from now. I guarantee it, bro. The difference between the version of you that will basically not create any success over the next 6 months and the version of you that will, the one that will is an absolute Jew with his time. The one that won't is a Jew with his money. Which one do you want to have like this scarcity mindset towards? Poor people are really scarce. Like, the mindset is so, like, Jewish is a good way to say it. They're so Jewish with their money. They're so like, oh, yeah, like, they're so like skits with it. Like, oh, okay, there's a coupon, and if I stand in line, I could save $1 with this thing that I wasn't even gonna buy anyway, but I could save $1, and I could just stay a free $1 pizza. Or they'll go spend 20 minutes in line to save $1 because they're so fucking stupid to not realize that they make $10 an hour. So the ratio's all fucked. Your time was literally more efficient in just working than it was to save that money. Let's say right now, I make you value your time at $50 an hour. That sounds crazy. $50, I don't make $50, right? But you're gonna become rich, right? Yes or no? Just let me just see the size of your dick for a second. Yes or no? Are you gonna get rich at some point in your life? Any healthy testosterone level man would be like, fuck yes. Then, shouldn't you take that into account at how valuable your time is right now? Especially if I give you the promise, by the way, that if you do this, it's gonna help you in your journey, right? So let's say right now, you could get $10 an hour. But you probably would be thinking 10 years from now, you might be making $1,000 an hour, right? Like evened out over the hours you've put into a business, whatever. $1,000 an hour is about like average for once you become like a millionaire. I know it sounds crazy, $1,000 an hour, that's fucking insane. But once you become about a millionaire, you make about $1 million a year. Usually it's about $1,000 an hour. You can kind of like value your time, maybe even up more than that, right? So should you only think your time is worth $10 an hour because that's what you can get now? Or should you kind of accept the idea that since you're going to become monumentally rich in the future, you should kind of value your time higher than you do right now? Because, it's like we're going to average it out. And again, I give you the promise that doing this is going to help you make more money. You're like, okay, fuck. If you promise that this is going to help me, even though it sounds weird, okay, sweet. So we're going to value your time at $50 an hour. That means that you are not going to do anything less valuable than make $50 an hour other than working on your business. So you're just gonna try and work. I want your life to feel like a fucking weird like movie scene where like you're just staring into your computer screen, your mother brings up the food and puts it in front of you like this, so you've got fucking IV drip so you don't even have to drink water, that's it. You just fucking work. Like we spoke about before, like you work like the rich people, you just work. Because the moment you take your eyes away from the computer screen, $50 per hour is basically being wasted. Now, if you're gonna go and do something wholesome, like hang out with your mother, I've got nothing against that. That's a fucking good use of your time. If you're gonna scroll on Instagram Reels like an asshole, $50 an hour starts racking up. Imagine that, it's almost $1 per minute. That's the fear I want you to have of time. Think about that. Any time that you are not looking at the computer screen working is literally $1 per minute you're spending. Imagine that mindset. I know it sounds silly, but just imagine that mindset. Wouldn't you want to go faster? Like when you're having a shit and sometimes you have a shit for 20 minutes because you're like on your phone, whatever. Imagine if you just had a little stopwatch and every minute that went past you spent $1. Imagine that for a second, just as a mindset. You'd be like, you'd never have a 20-minute shit ever again, right? Ended up scrolling on Reels or replying to people. You'd bust one out quick, barely even wiping and go back to, I'm joking. Go back and start working again. Let's say you have to get a refund for something. You bought something and you got to go send it off again, right? You could get a $10 refund if you go and return it, but it's gonna take you 20 minutes to do so. And imagine that mindset. There's like a stopwatch where every minute that racks up, it's $1 that you've spent. If it's gonna take 20 minutes, $20. It sounds crazy, but you wouldn't even go and return that thing. Like imagine this, right? Because you know 0 people in your life right now that would do this. Imagine you bought something that doesn't work from Amazon. And if it was gonna take you some time to package it up and send it off, you'd get $10 back. Imagine not packaging it up and returning it because your time is actually worth more if you just put it into your work than if you sent that thing off. You have all these disagreements in your brain and it'll take me a while to destroy each one, but I hope you can just remember one of those earlier lessons I said to you, which was like, you're poor, your brain made you poor. My brain made me rich, so I'm telling you this is the way. even though you disagree with it, your brain also convinced you to watch porn 1,000 times. Your brain can't be trusted, right? This is one of those lessons where poor people will never ever listen. I'm telling you, it's such a hard lesson to pass on to someone who's broke, who has like a shitty mindset with money. Spend money to save time. Poor people just find this so crazy, but like when you learn this, it's fucking awesome. Let me teach you a lesson. Actually, I was always trying to teach this lesson to my coach James, because you know he's like a pro fighter, right? But he's not very that business minded. He's an athlete, right? And all the guys there, you know, they're all like money hungry, success driven guys, but they're not business minded. So this lesson to them sounds crazy because pro fighters, like pro athletes, don't make much money. If you didn't know, like I don't know if you didn't know this or not, but like the top athletes, of course, do, but they're all businessmen. They're all influencers. But pro athletes, like people who are fighting, like not in the UFC, but in like these random places here, they don't make that much money, right? So I was always trying to convince them because, you know, sometimes I'd hear of them doing like manual tasks at such a long time frame. And I was always trying to convince them of this lesson of like, yeah, you know, outsourcing and paying to save time. And my coach came in one day and he was smiling and he was like, oh, I just did that thing that you spoke about. And I was like, oh, what? Well, like, you know, you outsource. What did you do? He said, the guys at the front in Bali, basically, like when you park up into like an established place, there'll be some men who will stand there and they'll help you park your bike, whatever. And he said, I've paid one of them to go fill up my bike with gas from the cheapest station that's like down the road and, you know, take him 10, 20 minutes because there's usually a big line. And I'll pay him the equivalent of like, I don't know, maybe $1 or something for that time, which is more than that guy would make, way more than that guy would make. And then James gets his bike filled up. The guy comes in, gives his key back, and he's like proper smiling. And he did that more often. And I said to him like, oh, that's fucking sick. Like, that's exactly the lesson I was trying to teach you. Do you see? Okay, look, imagine like saying this to someone who just wouldn't understand. Like, oh, bro, like if you give that guy some money, he'll go fill up your bike, your tank with gas, and you'll save time. But most people would be like, oh no, but like I don't need to save time. Like, what, you know, that's an extra expense that I wouldn't want to spend. But the lesson is, if James can save like 20 minutes of his time, like imagine if an athlete can save 20 minutes of their time and they can train more or they can coach more of their clients, overall, it's actually skewed towards them doing that. So the big lesson here is, of course, we're spending money to save time, but then your disclaimer with that is like, okay, like I kind of understand it, but like, I don't really want to lose that $10 today. But you need to have the mindset from our previous lesson, which is the mindset that work is what separates you from the level of wealth that you want. So I need you to visualize this. You need to visualize that your life is literally just like that weird movie scene. I don't know which movie, but like you're just staring into the computer screen and everything else around you is moving around. Maybe your mother brings the food over right to your fucking desk. The smallest things you outsource, you eliminate, you get your family to help you, you pay someone so that you don't have to step away from the computer. You can just work. Because in the end, it's not going to be the $10 that you saved here, the $10 that you saved here that's going to make you rich. It's going to be the business that you've built up. Do not believe the lies of all these little dorky financial experts who write these books and tell you, like, I hope you know this, and I'm sure everyone knows now. You know, the scam of like, oh, save $5, don't buy coffee and put it in there. No. You don't get rich from a couple of fucking dollars. Fucking put up your fucking middle finger to any of these stupid little financial advisors, skinny neck little dweeby guys who are scamming middle-aged people and telling them like, oh, buy my book and Ramit Shah or whatever his fucking name, I will teach you how to get rich. Save money, save $5 a day on coffee and put it on in the S&P 500. Shut the fuck up. You want to know, motherfucker, how you get rich through investments? Because no one's told you this. You want to know the truth? I'll open the doorway like into the wealth world and tell you, you make a fuck ton of money first through a business, and then you put in a fuck ton of money into the investment. Anyone who's telling you save $5 a day, tell them shut the fuck up. That's not gonna do shit. Save $5 a day, like save $1,000 a year, every year for 30 years, and then eventually when you've got like a $200,000, then it makes a little bit more compound interest. Or motherfucker, guess what? You could try and make the $200,000 in your 20s to stack it there, and then you make a fuck ton of money from the investment. Do you see the difference? Poor people are being sold this lie to save your pennies and put that into your savings, your little Jewish little fucking piggy banks. Oh, it saves. Like, you know, like your friend drops a fucking pound coin on the, put it in your fucking pocket or some shit like a goblin. You do realize that's not how you get fucking rich, right? You've been sold a lie to think like, oh yeah, grab all the 1 penny, forget these fucking pennies and put them into the piggy bank and S&P 500 if America doesn't fall to fucking Russia or China or some shit, and just I can't wait, like, you know, you're closing up your laptop at the end of a 9 to 5. Oh yeah, it's 5 p.m. only 40 more years now. What the fuck? Don't you fucking listen to this investment bullshit, bro. Investing does not make you rich. Anyone who tells you that is a fucking liar. You know what the truth is? You get rich through business. Investing keeps you rich. There's a difference. Gambling can make you rich, but we're not gonna fucking gamble because it's haram and it's fucking retarded, right? Yeah, I put it into fucking cum rocket and I 200x'd. The guy who tells you that shit, he's fucking, yeah, sure, but he's lost it all the next day anyway. He doesn't tell you that thing, right? Gambling can make you rich, but we're not gonna do that. Investing, this idea, like what I'm telling you for this lesson is, okay, when you get the $10, $20, spend it to save your time. Consider ordering food instead of cooking it yourself. Get the faster thing. Pick up the food instead of cooking and prepping and cleaning. That stuff will cost money. It might cost you money to eventually hire like a assistant who will check your emails for you. That sounds crazy, but it's shit that like every fucking rich person will eventually do. That sounds crazy, but when it saves you time and you can put that time into your business, that's how you get rich. You do not get rich. Please don't believe the lie that you get rich from saving your little pennies and then you put that into the S&P 500 or some shit like that. You don't. Like, you know, you put it into investments. That's not how you get rich. You want to know the real way to get rich? Follow the advice that I gave you in this. Get into a great business model, pop off, do really well, get 100,000, 500,000 cash in the bank account in your 20s. Then when you put that into some safe investments in your 20s, that will compound. Compounding from one fucking pound is nothing. Oh, but if you got a pound and you doubled it every day, it'd be 31 million at the end of the year. Fuck you. Shut the fuck up, bro. Oh yeah, you got 100 like fucking percent double every fucking day. That's not how investment works, bro. Investment isn't like they show you all these stupid gay little graphs like, oh, if you start with $1,000 and then you put in $500 every day for the next 83 years, it'd be $1 billion. Oh, like everyone can do fucking maths, fucking retard, bro. I see these fucking scammers, these investment financial experts. They're fucking liars. I am telling you the real way to get rich. You explode your income, the money that you make, not savings, but the money that you make through something like a business. And then when you have 100,000, 500,000 cash in the bank account, you put that into investments. You buy real estate, you buy crypto, you buy, I wouldn't even say crypto, crypto's just fucking shit. You buy Bitcoin, you buy real estate, Bitcoin, or you put it into like S&P 500 index funds, stocks, whatever. But once you've got a big chunk of it, not the little $5 that's doing fucking nothing. But here's the thing, those little $5, you know, because you've got like a little Jew mind thinking like, oh, but the $5, it's still something, right? The little $5 can have such a bigger impact if you put it into outsourcing. That's the difference. The $5 that you put into investing at the end of the year may be $5.50. 50 cents, bro. What are you gonna spend with that money, you fucking retard? Or the $5 that you put into saving yourself like half an hour of your work that allows you to just focus for another half an hour because, you know, you took the L with like not returning something or whatever. That's gonna have a bigger impact. Value your time at $50 an hour. Click here to keep learning. Goodbye.